Today I'm going to talk about It All Comes Back to You by Beth Duke. It All Comes Back to You is what's called Southern fiction because it's set in the south of the USA. This one's set in Alabama. It's one of those books that's structured by having two eras side by side. So you have one chapter set in the modern world and the next chapter set, in this case, in 1947, just after the war. So the story is that of Violet, who is an old lady living in an assisted care facility. She doesn't really need very much care. What she needs is male attention. One of her nurses, Roni, becomes friends with her and finds this woman so incredibly inspiring. Now, Roni is a budding author. She wants to write a book. Violet dies. And when she does, she leaves Roni something substantial in her will. But there's a catch. She has to write a book about Violet's story within 1 year. So there's the challenge for Roni. And there we have the plot. We have the protagonist, Roni, with a task which is to complete this in 1 year. So what's the antagonist? What gets in the way of this? Well, Violet's dead. Not only is Violet dead, but there's not really enough information that Roni has to write a whole book about her. So, of course, she has to start uncovering the truth. Now, this is an often used structure for stories, but it works. So as Roni uncovers the secrets of Violet, we go back to 1947 and we see Violet in her young days. So we learn Violet's story at the same time as Roni works to achieve her aim. Now, what else gets in the way of Roni achieving her aim? Well, there's all her lack of self-confidence, her lack of confidence in her writing abilities. Beth Duke has won a couple of awards, international awards, and there's a jolly good reason for it. She just writes really well. This book has had over 4,000 reviews on Amazon and it's a 4.5-star rating. And yes, it's really worth it. It's a 5-star book for me, and that's because it's written extremely well. It's one of those books that every single word is there for a purpose. There's nothing extraneous. Her words are evocative. They take you back to Violet's younger days, to how it felt back in 1947. And it goes deeply into Roni's character so that you really feel for her and the challenges that she faces. Now, of course, as the story progresses, like any good story, our protagonist grows. She becomes more confident. The more she learns about Violet's life, the more she reflects on her own life. And so her character develops, as it should, over the course of a book. Beth Duke has also been an Amazon bestseller, one of those self-publishing success stories. Anyone who thinks that indie books are inferior should read one of Beth Duke's books because they are just excellent. She writes so well. As an editor, it's rare that I read books that I can't fault, and this is one of them. It's a joy to read, a real pleasure to read. And I have to mention the cover. It is just so beautiful. So I highly recommend that you read this book by Beth Duke. It All Comes Back to You. And don't forget to press the button to make sure that you don't miss my other reviews coming soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.